Hello and welcome to Devlog number 7. I'm Shirley and I'm developing a farming game where you can discover mythical crops. I've made a lot of progress in the last 3 months and I'll go over it in this video. First, I added a crop evolution system where crops can evolve into mythical forms. I grew up watching Digimon and Pokemon, so that's where my inspiration came from. And I think this can be a fun twist for the farming sim genre. Mythical crops don't just have visual changes and value boosts. They're also helpful in other aspects of the game, including farming, ranching, combat, friendship, fishing, decorating, and so on. Evolution for a crop unlocks when the player gains enough experience by growing that crop. Evolution is performed by using the essence shard item on a crop during its growing stages, and can be attempted once per day. The success rate depends on the player's experience level for that crop, which can be found in the crop almanac menu. Right now, I've only implemented a few crops for testing, but I have a list of 45 crops that I'm planning to add to the game later. Spoiler alert! Here are the mythical evolutions of lettuce and corn. Can you guess what their roles are? I also added an unlockable greenhouse for planting out-of-season crops. I think the greenhouse is crucial because many aspects of my game are interdependent with farming and mythical crops, and I don't want players to feel blocked from progressing when they need crops from another season. I'm still not sure when to make the greenhouse unlockable. Maybe after the first year when the player has experienced all 4 seasons, or make it earlier based on the progression in other parts of the game. I think I need to finish the game and start playtesting to find the right timing. The second thing I worked on is the cutscene system. Cutscenes are great for showing important story and friendship events, and triggering cutscenes by surprise when entering a map area is something I really enjoy in farming games. So I added a cutscene system to my game with features like camera movement, animations, dialogue, map transitions, receiving items, skipping, and many more. You can see some of them being demonstrated in this testing cutscene. To make the implementation easier, my trick is to use actor characters instead of the real player or NPCs, so I don't need to handle their complex logic, like collisions, interactions, or schedules, that are unnecessary during cutscenes. With the cutscene system implemented, I'll be able to easily create a lot of cutscenes in the future after I flesh out the story and the characters in my game. Next, I decided to redesign all of the UIs in my game because I felt they looked too plain and boring. So I redrew most of the UI elements. I also improved UI navigation for both mouse and controller modes. For example, I increased the size of these checkboxes so they're easier to click with the mouse. And I changed the scroll container logic so it can scroll all the way to the top or bottom without leaving a gap in controller mode. With many small improvements like these ones, I think I'm finally happy with the UIs, for now. Last but not least, I added fishing. Fishing is a great way to make money in the early game. It's also a simple but rewarding activity to do when you're not tending to your farm. Depending on where and when you fish, you can catch different species with varying rarities. Sometimes you might even find special items like clothing sets or message bottles. For the fishing minigame, I decided to go with a timing-based game where you need to click when the hook is within the bar area. The size of the bar and the number of hits required depend on the difficulty of the fish. If you hit within the green area, you'll get a perfect hit, which means an instant catch. I think this design gives a fun challenge while not being too difficult or discouraging. As you upgrade your fishing rod or level up your fishing skills, the bar area becomes larger and fishing becomes easier. Then I added an item log to display obtained items like fish. This is the first time I've tried animating UIs with tweens, and I really like how it turned out, so I might use it more in the future. Next, I realized the item log was too far away on the screen and hard to see while fishing, so I added a separate fish info display near the player that appears when a fish is caught. Finally, here's the weirdest bug for this devlog. This is the buildings menu where you can reassign home buildings for farm animals. I can scroll down using a controller, but That's all for this devlog. Thank you for watching and see you next time.